The answer for virtually everyone who is an adult is yes, you need a will. I don't care if your estate is mega millions or very small, you need a will. That is, unless you want the state's default plan. And you can bet the people with lots of money, they have very complicated estate planning to avoid estate taxes. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people who have a lot of money will have very good estate planning, because they know that if they go to the right person, they'll figure out how to avoid estate taxes, etc. But really what I'm talking to is more of what I call, you know, the ordinary person, people that don't have, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars, and the person that maybe they have, you know, their bank account, their house, maybe their retirement account, maybe they don't have a whole lot of money, but they still need a will, because a will is where you say where things are going to go, and it makes it so much easier for your loved ones when you're gone. And especially important to have a will is people who have minor children, because it is through the will that you would say, you know what, if my spouse and I are both gone, I want my, you know, sister to be the guardian of my minor children. Because if you don't say that and you don't put that in your will, then when you're both gone, it may be your spouse's sister or brother that comes in and goes, no, I want the kids. And then there's this fight and the struggle, and it's very detrimental for the kids. It's very costly. It's bad for the family, and it's not what you would have wanted. But since you didn't put it in your will, you set it up for that kind of controversy. So having a will is really important if you have minor children. A will is also the best way to create trusts for someone. Now, a will takes no effect until you die. So if I have a will, if I have trusts in it, none of those trusts take effect until I die. But when that happens, let's say I had a special needs child, I would create a trust for my special needs child so that their money is managed. They can stay on all the government benefits that they are receiving. That's one example of a trust. You can also set up a trust in your will. Maybe you have, you know, lifestyle issues with, maybe you have adult children, but they can't manage their money, drug or alcohol issues, in-law issues, creditor issues. There's so many reasons that you might want to protect who is inheriting you. So you put a trust in your will to do that. And one of the most important trusts that you put in your will is if you are married and if you have any concern about long-term care expenses in your future, in your spouse's future, you're able to put in your will an asset protection trust that upon your death, your estate funds that trust, and any assets in that trust are not counted by the state as being your spouse's. And what that means is that after your death, let's say your spouse ultimately goes into a long-term care setting, they don't have to spend down to Medicaid's $2,000 level. They can have that $2,000 that the state allows for a single person, and whatever you put in that trust, be it 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, there's not a limit on it. So wills with trusts are very, very vital estate planning tools. So, you know, it goes from the very, very simple kind of will to the more complicated will, but regardless, you know, your situation is going to be different than anybody else's situation. And it is very helpful to get some legal guidance as, well, what's the best type of will and type of trust that I might want to include in my will? So, you know, that's one of the reasons to go see an estate planning lawyer. They can give you that guidance. Wills, the laws about wills are very particular, at least in the state of Washington. They have to be, there's very formal execution requirements about how they're signed, how they're witnessed, etc. We don't accept, you know, handwritten wills in the state of Washington. So there's a lot of reasons why you would want to get some legal guidance about how to do your will. So yes, do you need a will? The answer is yes, you need a will.